Hey guys, it's Julesy and the internet girl. Wow, this is 3 videos in 1 week. Well, I don't even know what number I'm putting this up at, but look, we doing a daggone thing, and the spiciness is moving too quickly for me to keep up. But let us indulge and have the smart brown girl discussion that you deserve. I'm Julesy, head smart brown girl in charge. If you are new here, welcome to the party. Be sure to subscribe, and I need everyone to hit that like button and comment along because it's a dialogue, a discussion, respectfully. The engagement just helps so much. Now, last week, Twitter lit up when someone posted this picture of a young black model from the H&M website. They simply asked thoughts, and the outrage commenced. The outrage machine works flawlessly, and with H&M's track record and prior offense of having a young black boy model in a coolest monkey in the jungle hoodie, I don't think the outrage was senseless, but we do need to be more mindful at how quickly we feed into the outrage, often without context. And because of this, corporations can use outrage to up their social currency and therefore profit margins. Context matters. Now, in the context of this campaign with H&M, all the children featured look like they come from school and or the playground. They look like kids whose parents sent them out the house prim and proper, and after a day in school while expressing their own agency over their appearance, having rearranged themselves and their hairdos, clearly how they all look. The little black girl, who was just absolutely gorgeous, she is such a beautiful child, is featured several times with her hair in a ponytail, which is a point of outrage, and a soft afro rocking several different outfits. It's both true that texture discrimination, something I spoke on back in 2013, is very real, that even within the black community, we do not love 4C natural hair unless it's thick and long or thick and cropped stylishly short. There is no diversity in how 4C hair is allowed to be, in the same way we generally find all types of curly hair, less is matted, to be cute and praiseworthy. Good hair. Now, it's also true that the fashion world has a very bad historical track record with not just kinky natural hair, but also with how they represent black women. There are a few things running congruent here. I'm also pushing back against shaming single black mothers. In the feminization of poverty that is historically significant in the black community, the prominence of poor black women-led households has led black mothers to take on certain ideals to push back against the way society has always tried to shame them. In every book, and I've been reading quite a few, the activism of poor black women in public housing, which is what I'm focusing my lit review on, it consistently comes up in interviews with the women, how they push back against this belief about them being less than by how they dress their children for school, how they would sacrifice so their children could look clean and well manicured, and to the point that they used to have like cleanliness competitions in public housing. Girl. This leads to the overall theme that is constantly reoccurring in the history of the black community and black traditionalism and self-sufficiency is our attachment to cleanliness, and in particular, children leaving the house looking presentable. Black traditionalism that props up respectability politics as a cornerstone of self-sufficiency or self-reliance says to dress correctly, maintain a level of cleanliness in your household that's visible in how your family walks out the home in order to invoke certain privileges of being seen as a human being worth being respected. And that's set very rigid standards around what that visibility should look like. At the time period where a lot of this ideology is being firmed up in the black community around the founding of HBCUs, which a lot are having attachment to the church, a lot of this ideology in how the standards we set around what is acceptable for black folks that we are kind of just getting away from in the past 10, 15 years, really curated as an antithesis to poor black sharecroppers and just poor black folk in general, and to get the potentially middle-class black folks to curate their image closer to like a white Protestant standard. Hair being slicked back, B2Bs being brushed, and bees waxed down. I mean, as I said, we've just in the past 10 years accepted, the general frizz of natural hair, or that 4C hair is healthy, because I definitely grew up being told that something was wrong with my hair because of its texture. And all of this does have a political history context, but as does the poor representation black women have gotten in media. And on the flip side, black women being portrayed as messy, as unkempt, as unworthy. And so these two things kind of do run congruent. So I can't say either side of the outrage machines is absolutely wrong versus the other, but this is both anti-blackness that we still need to excise from ourselves, and the truth that the fashion world and media at large has not been kind in its portrayal of black women. In the context of the H&M campaign, I personally love all the young black girls' looks. Her ponytail does not look too tight. Every black woman with kinky hair is truly 4C and beyond, and I see you baby hair brigade out here claiming kinks for clicks. Stop it. But every one of us has a childhood story about desiring to wear a ponytail. It's been a struggle. I know I'm not alone in the single not down here. I want my ponytail sitting up top like the ballerina bun do, okay sis? We, especially as children, like to mirror the images around us. And seeing our silky haired counterparts rearrange their ponytails while on the swing set at school so effortlessly has led many young black girls to undo their bobbles and hair ties that their mothers so meticulously attach to their head and attempt to do the same thing. I have a wonderful kindergarten school picture of myself with poofy hair after I begged my mother for a half up, half down do, cause swag, which she, you know, definitely took her time, burnt the tips of my ear, trying to press my 4C hair out. Ooh, with the grease, girl. But I was so glad that I got the style I wanted. But then I got to picture day and proceeded to copy my white homegirl Valerie, because back in the 90s, I thought it was a good idea to hand 4- and 5-year-olds combs, little mini combs, as they stood in line to get their picture taken. I had gone to the bathroom with Valerie, who wet her comb to slick her hair down and retie her ponytail. And so I did the same thing. And yes, my mother was hot when I came off the school bus that day, but I'm forever cute though. But all that aside, this girl's hair doesn't look dry either. The comment definitely needs some sort of self-reflection, because the truth of 4C hair is that unless it's stretched out in its shrunken state, in its natural state, it can be very well moisturized and not reflect a hint of sheen or shine. A lot of us in our adulthood have learned to dye our hair black or use, I used to use indigo henna that would coat my hair black because black reflects the sheen better. But in my natural color, which is a more dull brown, dark brown, my hair can be super soft and you won't see none sheen. And black women with similar hair textures have had to deal with other black folks questioning how they do their hair. You know, the amount of comments that I would get about, oh, you trying to lock your hair, oh, do you need a brush to brush your hair, from men and women, all black, and I had thick edges. Maybe we can have the argument about whether our edges are broken off or maybe they're sweated out. But again, a moment of reflection, because how would we receive this image if it was a young girl with big curly hair that was shorter around her edges? How much more allowance do we give for baby hairs when they could be swooped down with mousse versus baby hair that coils up with the Bees? Because some of that same baby hair be just broken off hair, because them baby hairs, the swoop be going a little far back, sis. And you see it time and time again on natural hair Instagrams with the same styles with silkier textures and baby hairs get all the light. And 4C hairstyle is left with comments like, oh, I wish she would have done XYZ, trying to bend around how we don't love it unless there are baby hairs involved. Sis hair might be a little thin, but it does actually look brushed in its very natural texture into a ponytail that I have seen plenty of black girls walk around with, and I hope every last one of them is made to feel beautiful. I can't make any assumptions about the health of her hair because there are so many variables and so many factors. And for me, it just comes down to this girl is beautiful. Nothing about this image turns me off, and I'm happy young black children of today will see an image like this prominently featured in a retail store. But in the same breath, in my same opinion, I do understand why people are cautious or wary or don't trust what H&M was going for. So I don't actually think that we are wrong for having any opinion about this. I think they both are studied in history, but I do think that the way we process our outrage so quickly without context, I think there's several points in which we can give room for reflection. That's it. Deuces.